Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Chakodash. But in this lesson, we're going to go over about leaning on the Lord. That's what the title is going to be called. Lean on the Lord. Starting off at 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The evil's beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent, and scourges for amendment. Right? You hear that? All these things that come, these famine, death, sorrows, all this doom and gloom, all this happens through the Lord. And this is why you should fear the Lord, man, because the Lord controls everything that goes on in your life. Whether you live, you die, whether you hit the jackpot or you fell miserably, whether, it's anything. It's all through the Lord. And what you're going to do when these evil comes, and then you're not prepared. You weren't preparing, with the Lord. Instead, you were just doing your own thing which profited nothing. Compared to coming to the Lord, serving Him with fear, telling people these message. Warning the people, warning Israel. Because by the time, evil comes, you're going to be left vulnerable, man. Sorry about that. But you're going to be left vulnerable, man. Like, what are you going to do? No amount of shelter providing, supplying yourself with a bunch of food, going in a bunker. None of that's going to protect you at the end of the day. Your food can only last so long. Your bunkers won't even be built great. And the Lord can just have it so the missile just comes right on top of you. So that bunker prep was for nothing. All that was for nothing. But anyway, next let me get Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust an enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And this is Esau here. So you can see the stain on Esau. His record isn't good, man. It's stained. It was rust, but that rust being, blood and deceit, lies. Esau is not a righteous man. The exact opposite, man. He works on the left-hand side. So of course he's going to do wickedness. So why are we putting our trust in our enemies to take care of us instead of the Lord? Like, the Lord's doing all this to us because we went away from the Lord. And Esau is just, lying to us, in slavery. Like, you're already in chains. Jake just don't know it yet. And yet they still want to be in those chains. Like, Jake needs to think, outside the box. But Jake is too stupid to even think. But next, let me get 2nd Ezra 15, 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right? So, it's talking about the wrath that the world's going to feel. Everyone who's dwelling in the world, who's part of this world, ultimately, all of them are going to suffer, man. Like I said, all that dwell therein. So every person, a part of this world, is going to suffer, man. That's why you got to cut yourself off from this world. You got to come back to the Lord. Through spiritual growth. Because the sword is ready to come upon all those people. All these people of the world. The sword is already getting drawn out on them. But you just don't know it. By the time you notice, it's already too late. You've been warned. And you didn't take this message, this warning, seriously. You didn't take the Lord seriously. Because you didn't fear Him. But next, let's go to 2nd Ezra 7. '34. But judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong. Let me read that again. But judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong. So everything the Lord does isn't just. You know. So the judgment is coming. You know, and only the righteous are only going to be the ones that are going to be, prospering at the end. Like I said, the faith shall wax strong. So all those of the elect, their faith are like, wax. They're stuck, pretty much. But not stuck, but they're gripped, with the Lord. That's because they're ultimately chosen. But 2/3, they're gonna have to pass away with the world. But next, let me get Ezekiel. Ezekiel 37:5. Thus saith the Lord, a power unto these bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. Right? And the breath, that's talking about the spirit. And the spirit can only be given to you by Yahweh. Yahweh has to give you the spirit, to truly be able to come into this truth. Understand, the scriptures, the parables, the understanding of it. All the connections between the verses. All that is through the Lord, awakening you, giving you the understanding. That's the only way you can truly get it. It's only for the elect, man. That's why you gotta pray and lean to the Lord. Lean on the Lord, man. That you are of the elect. You are the hopeful elect, being called. But if you're not, then ultimately you're set for destruction, man. And during these hard times, the Lord's going to protect you, man. He's going to feed you. He's going to guide you, man, through these troubles. You just need to have that faith. Even though you're starving, even though you're thirsty, you wait it out. And then, boom, the Lord will present you. Because you kept your faith. You're patient. Next, let me get Ecclesiasticus 23:27. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Lord, that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Lord. See that? See, so the fear in the Lord is crucial, extremely crucial when serving Yahweh. It's the most important thing. Because otherwise you're not going to build yourself up. Because that's ultimately what keeps your faith. Because you don't know what the Lord has for you. If you're against the Lord, you don't know what's gonna come next. You don't know how you're gonna go out. You know it's not gonna be easy, because you're coming against the Lord, man. And the Lord don't play. The Lord is ruthless. But that's why you need to fear the Lord, man. Because that's what's gonna keep you protected at the end of the day. The spirit, and then in these fleshly bodies. By being guided, by being fed. These people, like, for example, people who've been stockpiling food for a long time, they end up getting just taken out their place and drafted into the army before they can even use their food. Compared to like an Israelite, where they get taken out somewhere, a different way, and then the Lord leaves them an open path to get some food, get protection, get what they need. To continue, keeping the faith, keep serving the Lord to the end. Next, let me get John. John 14:12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And that's talking about, the miracles that will be done at this time. Just like how the Lord provided was bread, selected. Just like how the Lord provided bread to Israel, while they were leaving Egypt. Like, there's so many times in the scriptures where miracles happen. This is exactly what's going to happen when all hell breaks loose. The Lord's going to provide for the elect. He's going to guide them out of there. They're going to be seeing miracles. The elect are going to be doing miracles too. You're going to see it, man. Because the Lord's going to be guiding us, man. Granting us some of his spiritual power. Even a little bit when in these fleshly bodies. But we're truly going to receive it when we go into those new bodies. Next, let me get Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. All right, so you can't be, procrastinating. You can't be always delaying the goal, the mission. You got to call upon him when he is near. Because you can't call upon him when it's too late, Whenever he's gone already. Because that showed you didn't have faith. You didn't fear him. So you gotta seek him while he may be found. Now is the time to call to the Lord. Now's the time to seek him. To get this wisdom, understanding. Call on the Lord. Pray. To get the Spirit. To be guided. Alright. Next, let me get Isaiah 65:13. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. That's pretty much describes what's going to happen at these times. The elect are going to be eating, they're going to be drinking, they're going to be filled, they're going to be full. They're going to get, fed meals, pretty much. For his servants only. But those who, those who ain't serving the Lord, they're going to be starving, they're going to be thirsty as hell, they're going to be begging, for death. And they're going to, real pain's going to come, man. You're going to see limbs be, chopped off. Like, it's going to be very brutal, man. And you're going to want that protection. Otherwise, you're just stupid. You're just an idiot if you don't try to lean to the Lord. You have no common sense. But next, let me just get one more. It's like it. 1 Chronicles 16:34. Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Right, so the mercy of the Lord is, it's strong, man. Otherwise, we wouldn't have, still be, alive pretty much. We wouldn't have been brought back. But it is through Yahweh Shai, we are being brought back. And through Yahweh. But not Yahweh's sacrifice. Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, but Yahweh granting permission because of that. And the Lord always providing us every day, keeping us fed, structured. We truly got to give thanks to the Lord every day for what we got. Even though it might not be a lot, we're being fed. We got a shelter. Being provided. We're given understanding that the Lord truly does provide. But you just need to have that eye to see it. But anyway, with that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And until the next time, I'm going to say Shalom.